Welcome to Bedtime True Crime, the YouTube channel that takes you on a haunting exploration of the world of true crime, serial killers, and unsolved mysteries. Join us as we journey into the shadows, unearthing spine-tingling tales that will keep you awake at night. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss another thrilling episode. Now get comfortable, turn off the lights, and prepare to be captivated by the sinister side of human nature as we delve into today's bone-chilling story. Nestled amidst the rolling hills of Tuscany, Italy, a sinister presence cast a dark shadow over the picturesque landscape. Between 1968 and 1985, an enigmatic predator preyed upon unsuspecting young couples as they sought out secluded spots for intimate encounters. This sadistic killer would leave a grisly trail of mutilated bodies and shattered lives, earning the chilling moniker, the Monster of Florence. Our tale unfolds in the tumultuous late 1960s when Italy was in the throes of a cultural revolution. As societal norms underwent a dramatic transformation, so too did the face of crime. It was against this backdrop of upheaval that a palpable sense of dread began to grip the hearts of Florentines, as whispers of a brutal killer on the loose spread like wildfire. The first unsuspecting victims were Barbara Locci and Antonio Lobianco. On the fateful night of August 21, 1968, their lifeless bodies were discovered in a desolate spot near Signa, just outside Florence. Their remains were riddled with bullets from a .22 caliber gun, the chilling calling card of a ruthless murderer. In a twist that defied explanation, Barbara's 6-year-old son, Natalino Mele, lay asleep in her car nearby, inexplicably spared from the carnage. As authorities scrambled to make sense of the gruesome scene that lay before them, they were utterly unaware that this marked the beginning of a reign of terror that would span nearly 2 decades and claim the lives of 16 innocent souls. In today's harrowing tale, we will delve deep into one of Italy's most notorious unsolved mysteries, the Monster of Florence case. We will meticulously examine each bone-chilling incident perpetrated by this elusive killer, while scrutinizing the key evidence collected during investigations that spanned more than 4 decades. But before we peel back the layers of darkness to reveal the horrifying truth behind these heinous crimes, let us transport you back in time to where this nightmare began. On the balmy night of August 21, 1968, the tranquil Tuscan countryside was disrupted by a heinous act. Barbara Locci, a married woman, made the fateful decision to rendezvous with her lover, Antonio Lobianco, leaving her unsuspecting husband at home. The couple sought out a secluded spot near Signa, craving privacy for their passionate tryst. Little did they know, they were being stalked by a malevolent predator lurking in the shadows. As the inky blackness of night enveloped the lover's car, the Monster of Florence sprang into action, unleashing a hail of bullets that shattered the vehicle's windows and pierced the bodies of Barbara and Antonio. Their lives were snuffed out in an instant, the deafening gunshots echoing through the night. Bizarrely, the killer approached the lifeless couple but left young Natalino Mele, Barbara's 6-year-old son, untouched in the back seat, a silent witness to the horror that had just unfolded. When police arrived on the scene, they were met with a chilling sight. Shell casings from a .22 caliber Beretta gun littered the area, a grim harbinger of the carnage that would follow in the years to come. Investigators initially zeroed in on Pietro Pacciani, Barbara's estranged husband who had previously threatened her over her infidelity. However, despite the lack of concrete evidence linking him to the crime, authorities arrested Pacciani and charged him with murder. As Pacciani languished behind bars awaiting trial, a sinister pattern began to emerge. Just 2 years later, the bodies of Pasquale Gentilcore and Stefania Pettini were discovered in their car parked along a quiet country road outside Florence. The similarities were uncanny. Both victims had been shot multiple times with a .22 caliber weapon, just like Barbara and Antonio. But this time, there was an even more chilling aspect to the crime scene. Stefania Pettini's body bore the marks of unspeakable savagery, post-mortem stab wounds inflicted with a knife or sharp object, a testament to the killer's escalating sadism. This gruesome new detail sent shockwaves throughout Italy, as it became evident that a dangerous and unpredictable killer was still on the loose. With fear gripping Tuscany once more and mounting pressure on law enforcement to solve these heinous crimes quickly, the hunt for the Monster of Florence took a dark and twisted turn. Unbeknownst to them, they had just scratched the surface of a horrifying mystery that would continue to haunt the picturesque Italian countryside for years to come. As the years mercilessly rolled by, the sinister presence of the Monster of Florence continued to cast a dark shadow over the once peaceful Tuscan countryside. The chilling pattern that emerged with each new crime scene sent a shiver down the spines of investigators and locals alike. Young couples seeking solace in isolated areas found themselves ensnared in the ruthless grasp of a merciless predator, their lives extinguished by the cold steel of a .22 caliber weapon. Yet as the passage of time wore on, the killer's modus operandi began to take an even more twisted and macabre turn. The year was 1974, when two more unsuspecting victims, Carmela Denuccio and Giovanni Foggi, met their tragic and untimely end at the hands of this enigmatic killer. The couple, much like those before them, had been mercilessly gunned down while sitting in their car, the night air shattered by the deafening crack of gunfire. But it was what happened next that would send shockwaves rippling through the community. With an eerie calm, the monster proceeded to remove portions of the female victim's reproductive organs with chilling surgical precision. This grotesque new development in the killer's signature would become a horrifying hallmark of the monster's crimes moving forward, further fueling the public's fear and morbid fascination with these unsolved murders. Investigators found themselves at a loss, grappling with the chilling pattern that unfolded before them. Was this grisly mutilation evidence of a ritualistic or occult motivation behind the killings? Or did it point towards a suspect with medical knowledge, someone who wielded sharp instruments with unnerving skill and expertise? As authorities scrambled to identify suspects and chase down leads, they faced mounting criticism from a terrified public who demanded answers and protection from the seemingly unstoppable force of evil that lurked within their midst. Despite their tireless efforts, which included thousands of interviews and countless hours spent painstakingly analyzing forensic evidence left at each grisly crime scene, no significant breakthroughs emerged for nearly a decade. Undeterred by the relentless pursuit of justice, the monster continued his reign of terror unabated, claiming even more lives throughout the late 70s and early 80s. In June 1981, the bodies of Paolo Mainardi and Antonella Migliorini were discovered, their fates chillingly similar to those before them. Just over a year later, in September 1982, Stefano Baldi and Susanna Cambi became the next tragic victims of this elusive killer. And finally, in July 1983, the blood-soaked scene where Claudio Stefanacci and Pia Rontini met their gruesome end marked yet another chapter in this horrifying saga. With each new atrocity, the pressure on law enforcement to apprehend this sadistic killer reached a boiling point. But as they struggled to piece together a coherent profile of their suspect or uncover any solid leads, the Monster of Florence remained an enigma, always one step ahead, lurking in the shadows and leaving a trail of blood and tears in his wake. The tranquility of Tuscany was shattered once more on September 9, 1985, when the Monster of Florence claimed his final known victims. Nadine Morio and Jean-Michel Kravaichvili, a young couple from France, had chosen the idyllic Italian countryside as the backdrop for their romantic getaway. Little did they know, their dream vacation would descend into a nightmare. Under a moonlit sky, the lovers set up their tent near Scopetti, a quaint village just outside of Florence. As they lay entwined in each other's arms, the sinister figure of the monster lurked in the shadows, biding his time. With chilling precision, he struck, firing multiple rounds from the same .22 caliber weapon that had sealed the fate of so many before them. In a grotesque finale, the female victim was mutilated post-mortem, her body bearing the unmistakable mark of this sadistic killer. The discovery of this gruesome scene sent shockwaves throughout Italy, and public outrage over law enforcement's failure to apprehend. The monster reached a boiling point. Desperate for answers, Italian authorities launched Operation Cerberus, one of the largest manhunts in European history, mobilizing hundreds of officers and devoting vast resources to the pursuit of this elusive predator. In a bid to leave no stone unturned, police initiated mass DNA screenings across Tuscany. Thousands of men were asked to provide saliva samples for analysis, each one a potential key to unlocking the mystery of the monster's identity. Yet despite this Herculean effort, no matches were found, leaving the investigation at a frustrating standstill. As authorities delved deeper into the murky world of theories and speculation, a myriad of possibilities emerged. Was the monster driven by a twisted sexual compulsion? Could there be multiple perpetrators working in tandem? Or was it all an elaborate ruse, orchestrated by powerful figures within Italy's criminal underworld? Despite countless leads and potential suspects, including the controversial figure of Pietro Pacciani, none could be conclusively tied to the horrific murders that haunted Tuscany for so many years. With each passing day, and no new attacks or significant breakthroughs, fear slowly began to recede amongst the Florentines. Yet even now, the true identity of the Monster of Florence and the motives behind his unspeakable acts remain shrouded in mystery and unanswered questions. Throughout the years, numerous pieces of evidence surfaced that would both tantalize and confound investigators in their pursuit of the Monster of Florence. One such piece arrived in the form of a bone-chilling letter sent to local newspaper La Nazione in 1985. The anonymous author brazenly claimed responsibility for the murders and divulged horrifying details about each crime scene, information that only the killer could have known. This sinister correspondence not only stoked the public's fascination with the case, but also added an unnerving layer of enigma to the already elusive figure. Another critical piece of evidence emerged from ballistics analysis conducted on shell casings recovered at various murder scenes. It was revealed that all victims had been shot using the same .22 caliber Beretta gun, a chilling fact that both linked these seemingly unrelated attacks together and provided investigators with a tangible lead to pursue. The hunt for this deadly weapon would lead them down a twisted path, as they discovered it had initially belonged to a man named Stefano Mele, Barbara Locci's husband, who had been convicted of her murder back in 1968. However, upon further examination, it was revealed that he had sold the firearm before his wife's death, casting doubt over his involvement in any subsequent killings attributed to the monster. In their relentless pursuit of this elusive weapon, law enforcement agencies from Italy and beyond explored every possible avenue, including international arms dealers and shadowy criminal networks. Despite their exhaustive efforts, the whereabouts of the deadly instrument remained shrouded in mystery, slipping through their grasp like a ghost. Eyewitness accounts played a pivotal role during the investigations, though many descriptions of suspicious individuals seen near crime scenes were often contradictory or vague, hindering the police's ability to build a coherent profile of their suspect. One particularly intriguing account came from two young men who claimed to have seen a mysterious figure lurking near Nadine Moriot and Jean-Michel Kravachvili's tent on that fateful night in 1985. They described the enigmatic figure as a middle-aged man with dark hair and glasses. Despite extensive searches and countless leads based on this description, no one matching these characteristics could be conclusively linked to the murders. As the years turned into decades and leads grew cold, the dark cloud of mystery enshrouding the Monster of Florence seemed to grow ever more impenetrable. With each new theory or suspect that emerged, more questions arose than answers, leaving investigators no closer to unmasking the enigmatic killer who had cast a malevolent shadow over Tuscany for so many years. The lingering specter of uncertainty would continue to haunt both the investigators and the public, as the identity and motives of this sinister figure remained maddeningly elusive. The investigation into the Monster of Florence presented a labyrinth of challenges and setbacks. Authorities grappled with immense pressure to solve the case swiftly, yet they found themselves ensnared in a web of dead ends and false leads. One vital aspect of the investigation centered on the forensic evidence meticulously collected from each grisly crime scene. As technology advanced over the years, investigators clung to the hope that cutting-edge methods might unlock hidden clues within this trove of physical data. Blood samples, hair fibers, and other biological material were painstakingly analyzed in search of potential DNA matches or unique characteristics that could lead authorities closer to their elusive suspect. Alas, due to the age and degradation of some samples, coupled with limitations in early forensic techniques. Many results proved inconclusive or unreliable, only deepening the mystery. Ballistics analysis played a crucial role in linking all the murders together through the use of the same .22 caliber Beretta gun, a chilling fact that sent a shiver down the spines of investigators. Despite their relentless efforts, which included international cooperation with law enforcement agencies worldwide, the whereabouts of this deadly instrument remained shrouded in darkness, forever out of reach. Another formidable challenge faced during the investigation was the daunting task of sifting through countless tips and leads provided by a fearful and desperate public. While some information initially appeared promising, such as eyewitness accounts describing shadowy figures lurking near crime scenes, these often led investigators down twisted paths that only led to more frustration, without yielding any concrete evidence implicating a specific individual in the monster's heinous crimes. Throughout Operation Cerberus, Italy's largest ever manhunt, launched in response to these brutal killings, authorities employed groundbreaking tactics for their time. Mass DNA screenings across Tuscany involved thousands of men being asked to provide saliva samples for analysis. This unprecedented effort, however, bore no fruit. No matches were found linking anyone directly to the murder weapon or the blood-soaked crime scenes. As decades slipped by without any major breakthroughs or new attacks attributed to the Monster of Florence, hope gradually faded amongst both investigators and the public alike that this enigmatic predator would ever be brought to justice. Yet even now, more than half a century since his first known attack on Barbara Locci and Antonio Lobianco, questions still echo through the dark corners of Tuscany, taunting those who seek to uncover the true identity of this enigmatic killer and the twisted motivations that drove him to commit such unspeakable acts. The victims of the Monster of Florence were all young couples, their lives stolen in the prime of youth by a merciless and sadistic predator. The senseless violence inflicted upon them left a trail of grief and devastation for their families, friends, and communities, struggling to comprehend the evil that had befallen their loved ones. Barbara Locci's son, Natalino Mele, a mere 6 years old at the time, was forced to bear witness to the brutal murder of his mother and her lover, Antonio Lobianco. Miraculously spared from harm, Natalino would grow up haunted by the nightmarish memories of that fateful night, an indelible scar etched upon his soul. Survivors' accounts are a rarity in this case, as the monster's cold efficiency left few to tell their tale. However, one harrowing exception comes from two young men who, on that ill-fated night in 1985, claimed to have seen a mysterious figure skulking near the tent of Nadine Moriot and Jean-Michel Kravitchvili. The shadowy presence seemed to be watching the couple, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Though they were unable to provide concrete evidence linking this individual directly to the murders, their spine-chilling encounter remains an enduring testament to the terror experienced by those living under the monster's shadow during his reign of fear. The reverberations of these gruesome killings rippled far beyond the immediate circle of family members and witnesses. Entire communities across Tuscany were gripped by a paralyzing dread as news spread of each new atrocity committed by this seemingly unstoppable force of evil. Parents held their children close, warning them not to venture out after dark or stray too far from home. Lovers, once seeking solace in secluded spots for intimate encounters, now thought twice before daring to escape prying eyes, as the threat of the monster loomed ever-present. As time wore on without any significant breakthroughs in the investigation or new attacks attributed to the monster, the once-burning flame of hope began to flicker and fade amongst both investigators and the public alike. Justice seemed a distant dream for those whose lives had been so cruelly taken. Yet even now, more than half a century since this nightmare began to unfold across Italy's picturesque hillsides, the memory of those lost casts, a long and haunting shadow over the beautiful Tuscan landscape, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most idyllic settings. The enigma of the Monster of Florence's true identity continues to perplex investigators and captivate the public's imagination. Over the years, various suspects emerged, some with criminal pasts or suspicious behaviors seemingly aligning with the elusive killer's profile. Pietro Pacciani, Barbara Lochi's estranged husband, was one such suspect. He had previously threatened her over her infidelity and was initially convicted for her murder. However, due to insufficient evidence linking him to the subsequent killings attributed to the monster, Pacciani was eventually acquitted, leaving investigators back at square one. Another chilling theory speculated the involvement of multiple perpetrators working in tandem as part of an organized group or cult. This hypothesis gained traction due to the ritualistic nature of some mutilations inflicted upon female victims. Yet solid evidence supporting this claim remained frustratingly elusive, further deepening the mystery. The monster's psychological state is equally enigmatic and disturbing. His choice of young couples as targets suggests a possible sexual motivation behind these brutal attacks, perhaps driven by feelings of jealousy, inadequacy, or rage towards those enjoying intimate relationships that he himself may have been denied. Moreover, his penchant for post-mortem mutilation points towards a sadistic streak within his psyche, deriving pleasure from inflicting pain and suffering upon others even after their deaths. Some experts believe this escalation in violence could indicate an increasing need for control or dominance over his victims, fueled by deep-seated insecurities lurking beneath the surface. Despite the tireless efforts of investigators, spanning decades and involving countless resources dedicated solely to unmasking this elusive killer, no definitive answers have yet been found regarding either his identity or motivations. As time marches on without new leads emerging or fresh attacks occurring under his sinister signature, the chilling specter of the Monster of Florence seems increasingly likely to remain forever hidden amongst the shadows, leaving only questions and fear in his wake. As the search for answers continues, authorities remain hopeful that one day a breakthrough will finally unveil the true identity of this sadistic predator. Until that day comes, the haunting legacy of the Monster of Florence will continue to cast a dark shadow over the picturesque hillsides of Tuscany, serving as a chilling reminder of the evil that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most idyllic settings. The exhaustive manhunt for the Monster of Florence engaged numerous law enforcement agencies, not only from Italy, but also from around the world. Unwavering in their determination to apprehend this elusive killer, authorities launched Operation Cerberus, one of the largest manhunts in European history. Hundreds of officers were mobilized, employing a variety of tactics to bring this sadistic predator to justice. In a bid to uncover crucial evidence, mass DNA screenings were conducted across Tuscany, while international cooperation with other law enforcement agencies cast a wider net in search of leads. Authorities even ventured into the murky realm of criminal networks, attempting to infiltrate their ranks in hopes of unearthing information about the .22 caliber Beretta gun that had sealed the fate of so many victims. Throughout the years, several tantalizing breakthroughs emerged, only to lead investigators down frustrating dead-end paths, each one yielding no concrete evidence to implicate any specific individual in the monster's crimes. One such suspect was Pietro Pacciani, initially convicted for the murder of his wife, Barbara Lochi, but later acquitted due to a lack of evidence linking him to the subsequent killings. Pacciani's controversial figure cast a long shadow over the case until his death in 1998, leaving more questions than answers. As the years wore on without new attacks or significant breakthroughs, hope gradually faded amongst both authorities and the public alike that this enigmatic predator would ever be brought to justice. But with each passing day, the specter of the Monster of Florence continued to haunt the picturesque hillsides of Tuscany, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath even the most idyllic settings. In recent years, whispers of hope have emerged in the form of advancements in forensic technology. Some experts now suggest that these breakthroughs could potentially provide fresh insights into this cold case, possibly unmasking the true identity of the monster once and for all. The lingering question remains: will the day come when conclusive answers are found, finally revealing the motivations and whereabouts of this sinister figure? As the search for the truth continues, the chilling legacy of the Monster of Florence serves as a testament to the tireless efforts of those who have dedicated their lives to solving this enigmatic mystery. Yet even now, the shadow of uncertainty looms large, taunting investigators and the public alike with the unanswered questions that continue to haunt the beautiful Tuscan landscape. In conclusion, the chilling tale of the Monster of Florence remains shrouded in mystery, a haunting enigma that has eluded investigators for decades. This sadistic predator terrorized the picturesque Tuscan countryside, brutally murdering young couples and leaving behind mutilated bodies as his gruesome calling card. Despite tireless efforts and innovative investigative tactics, the identity and motives of this elusive killer remain frustratingly out of reach. As time marches on without new leads or fresh attacks, the shadow of the Monster of Florence looms large, a stark reminder that even amidst idyllic landscapes, darkness can hide just beneath the surface. The resilience of those who endured these terrifying times and the unwavering dedication of law enforcement officers determined to bring justice to the victims serve as a testament to the human spirit's strength. While the passage of time may have dimmed the flames of hope for some, the chilling specter of unanswered questions continues to haunt those who seek the truth. What drove this enigmatic predator to commit such unspeakable acts? Was there a hidden message behind the ritualistic mutilations? Could the key to unmasking the monster still lie undiscovered within the troves of evidence, waiting for the right set of eyes to unlock its secrets? As we bid farewell to this evening's harrowing tale, remember that the darkness that lurked within the rolling hills of Tuscany serves as a cautionary reminder of the hidden evils that can exist in even the most idyllic settings. We invite you to share your thoughts and theories in the comments below as we continue our journey into the sinister depths of true crime. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all our stories, allowing us to continue sharing these chilling tales with you, our fellow night owls.